Hey folks, lyarri here. Today we're reacting to Should I Come Out to My Wife? Dilemma by Jubilee. This video, I was so interested by it that I literally had to record this today and upload this because I needed to watch it. I feel like it has to be yes, right? Like I I'm really curious if I can get convinced otherwise. Let's go. All right.
I love my wife, but I'm gay. Should I come out now? Yes or no?
We brought together a group of strangers to help an anonymous person make one of their toughest decisions.
My wife is the most
Yeah.
important person in my life, and I would never want to do anything to hurt her. But I'm also gay, so I'm not sure how to approach it or even how to come out.
Hmm.
After hearing the group's advice, which choice will this person make?
Are we gonna
This
know?
is the dilemma.
Okay. The thumbnail lied.
How long into the relationship did you realize you were gay?
I knew before I got married.
How did you meet your
Oh.
partner?
We grew up in the same community together. We started off as friends, then best friends, and it grew from there.
Is your partner supportive of everything you do?
In our viewpoints on religion, yes. In terms of supporting the LGBT community, no.
So religion is a big cornerstone of your guys' relationship?
We
That's a
both
good
grew up in the same
question.
religious community, so we both grew up with the same values and the same social guidelines. So yes.
Do
Yeah,
you think
maybe I
your wife
shouldn't
knows
have
you're
the
gay?
captions
No,
lying.
she doesn't.
What was the main reason as to why you went to the yes side?
I have a few family members in the LGBTQ plus community. I know all their experiences coming out have been positive, at least in the long run. I really thought to myself about him
Yeah.
coming here, wanting to, share his truth and, speak to us about it. I knew that it's about time. It's starting to boil over, and he needs to come out.
Yeah, I mean, in the long, like, definitely a number of folks do not have a supportive environment when they come out. But definitely, like, the whole aspect of, like, being able to actually be yourself and shit is pretty good. Um, yeah, usually, like, if you end up going back into the closet, it's because of other reasons in your environment than it is, like, realizing, oh shit, actually, I'd rather just be straight. Haha. Like, at bare minimum, it's like, oh damn, society really gets to me. And I'm bi, so I may as well just say I'm straight. Or just, like, at that level, right? Or there's obviously deep, harsher things.
What was your reasoning for marrying a woman even though you knew you were gay?
I thought that if I got married, that it would change me and that I could become straight.
Mm,
What are your
that's fair.
intentions in life?
I was really curious about that. I feel like that's like really like, especially I think it's less common nowadays, but I feel like a lot of folks like have like I think like my parents knew folks like that. I don't know.
And how do you want to feel about your life?
I want to be truthful, but I also don't want to hurt the people surrounding me. I'm a very honest person. I don't lie. So the fact that I'm basically living a lie right now gives me a lot of anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
But I know if I came out suddenly, it would devastate her.
Does he have any kids? Like, I feel like it makes that just harder, right? But also, if you're living with anxiety and depression, you're probably already like affecting like your data life. Your day to day is probably already kind of like shitty. Um, and like I'm sure like you can put a mask on for a lot of it, but like it's tough, and like I'm sure it has to affect you in some way. And like I'm sure. So I'm gonna let this continue. I have a lot of opinions about this.
The thing is, I'm bisexual, and I would have never said anything if I ended up falling in love with a man and everything worked out. And I fell in love with a woman, and I didn't want to hide anymore. Being your authentic self is my principle.
So, is there an expected fallout that extends beyond just the relationship of you and your wife? Like, is it more than just your guys' relationship that's at stake?
You have kids?
My job is tied to the church, so I could potentially lose my job. I would most likely lose my family, my friends, my wife. I would lose everything, basically. I would have nothing and no support.
His entire, like, it sounds like he's in like a pretty religious community, and like his entire like social circle is, oh my god, I can't speak. He's like in that community. Oh my, this is tough.
Are we the only people who know about this?
I've never told anyone.
Just based on this information now, you guys can switch to the other side if you want.
Oh. The thumbnail wasn't a lie. Oh my god, it's tough. Like, it's definitely like a thing where on the nose you would say yes, right, without any information. And I get why these people are saying no now, but I would still say yes. Like, the end to this isn't good. Like, if you just like continue, like, there's a point where you have to like cut the band-aid if you at least want to be like happy. Otherwise, you just live with that anxiety and depression forever. Like, what do you do to stop it? In my view,
He was explaining
rip off the band-aid.
what's at stake if he comes out immediately. Because of that, the more I thought about that, the more I was like, you know what? He's going to be losing literally everything because of this. So I feel like he needs to have some sort of plan in motion first.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm bisexual. Same as you. It took me a cool minute to kind of come to terms with that.
Wait. Same as you. The dude said he's gay. Sorry.
So it's like, I look more at like, am I safe? If you do, gone. You could lose a lot of things that you've built up on this foundation.
Have you at all considered reaching out to therapy or some sort of counseling to help you through this process?
In the community I live in, it's a little bit hard to find counseling. I live in a more rural area, so
Do telehealth.
the majority of counselors are based through the church.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your relationship with God? And has there been moments where you've personally experienced Him guide you?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know what this question is, but I love her fucking hair.
I would say, faith has been a deciding factor in all things that I do in my life, and that I don't, follow God blindly. I've felt Him work in my life before. So for me, it's a real relationship that I have, and it's the most important relationship I have. God goes before everything else.
Faith is just a huge factor for my truth. To me, that's what I resonated the most. So I wanted to be that representation of like, hey, if you just go in with blind faith, it could still work out.
If you show who you really are
True.
to somebody, to anybody, they're going to show you who they are, like 100% of the time. And if you're surrounding yourself with people who are kind of not in support of the person that you really are, then that's not a healthy situation to be in. And I think he should 100% come out, like, today.
I'm bisexual. It took me a cool minute.
I don't agree that it has to be today. I think like you can put a plan in place. That's important. But yeah.
One of my, I'm not gonna name names, I'll say a family member, told my parents. It gave me a lot of anxiety. It was like, am I gonna get kicked out? I'm gonna stay here. Are they upset with me? It was very much like, okay, whatever, I don't wanna talk to you right now. And it's like, I know coming out, like everyone's like, do it, it's great, you'll feel better. But for me, coming out, it made me feel worse. Because I'm like, I live my truth, but it didn't make me feel the way I wanted to feel.
I believe that everybody
Yeah. That's true. I feel like it's kind of like you can have reasonable expectations of the folks in your life, and like personally, like my expectations were exceeded in some way, so I'm very fortunate, right? So I can't really be the authority on this at all, but like I feel as if you, at the end of the day, unless like your living situation is being impacted and you have no alternative in place or anything, like there's a point where like being able to live as yourself is genuinely a really good thing. I don't know.
should live their truth. You're not emotionally responsible for anybody. You don't owe anybody your life. you be you and they'll figure out how to be them.
I think it's different, like you're saying, you're not responsible for other people's feelings, but it is, I know the guilt that I would feel as like a husband to be hiding something from my wife is like horrible.
Yeah, because like,
But
let's
tell
also not
her.
forget that they are married. They have vows.
Yeah.
And part of
There's a
those
lot
vows
attached
is
to
to
that.
tell the truth. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because you're taking away another person's ability to live in reality, and that's wrong.
I do want to point out that I'm not necessarily saying that he should wait like years to come out. I'm just saying maybe
no,
take
don't do
just like a couple months. Like I would say go to counseling, go to therapy, figure out who you are.
Okay, I think he knows who he is, clearly. But what I would do is, like, go talk to a professional who might have, like, there are other folks in this position who have been in this position, who have navigated these things before. So, like, try and find them. Like, this guy does sound like someone who has, like, connections at least, or, like, the ability to, like, present himself out there in the world and be like, hey, I'm this person. Can I get your advice? I don't know. This is my view. I mean, that's kind of what he's doing now. But like, this is like some random folks on Jubilee. Like, they're trying. I respect that.
And who you are even without the church and without your wife and without all of that stuff. Once you figure all that out, then you can start going through that process of how am I going to come out.
Yeah, but I think the focus should be more like him just finding himself, you know? Like all that planning, you know, like where's he gonna go and all that stuff. Yeah, those are tough questions, but it doesn't have to be answered right now because, you know, it takes baby steps.
That's fair. I think, like, sorry, I didn't mean to unpause, but like, you can come out. The problem is, like, if he loses, like, if his wife is like literally like, I don't want to be with you anymore, get out. Like, what does he do, right? Like, you have to have an idea. It sounds like a genuine concern for him. This is tough.
Coming out is not ripping off a Band-Aid. It comes with so much anxiety. It comes with so much fallbacks depending.
All right, I don't know. I've ripped off a Band-Aid before. I get a lot of, sorry, this is a bad joke. I get a lot of anxiety.
On who you are, where your community is aligned, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't just be ripped off, because even ripping off Band-Aids hurt. You know what I mean? It's not a painless process just because it's quick. And
Okay, I
people
get
really
what
need
his
to
point.
Understand that.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, it's not like literally a fucking Band-Aid you rip off right now. It's something that you plan, especially if you're in this kind of situation. For me, like, I had in mind, like, hey, like, I can have these alternative living situations if I need to. I have these folks I can go to for support and guidance in case things go wrong. I have, like, and I also, like, charted out, like, okay, who do I tell first? Right? And, I mean, honestly, I kind of did mess up a little bit by, telling, like, my dad, not really when I was planning on, and just kind of heat of the moment, because it felt like a good moment. It kind of wasn't. And that definitely made the situation harder to a degree. I don't think it made it, like, significantly harder, even if it was, like, a pretty bad time to tell it to him. But it definitely did, like, color the margins, right? A little harder for me. So I think, I don't know, my point is, like, the dude is right. Like, I think having some forethought can, when you're in a tough situation, can especially help.
Was there anything in the discussion that caught your attention in some way?
I think when they were mentioning when you come out, like right now, that person will show their true colors to me. That resonated with me because that is true.
Yeah.
The other issue that was brought up was the point of counseling and kind of preparing myself. I feel like that could be beneficial.
Ooh. I like this
To me,
part.
I think there was too much discussion of what's step 10, what's step 7, what do we do like 3 stages from now?
Yeah, I think that's what he's getting again. I think what he needs from us is comfort.
Like ultimately, at the end of the day, people are going to be people, and you can't predict how someone's going to react.
Right.
Also, I've met people who've been in a dangerous situation because they came out.
So
Yeah.
the biggest concern
Find
is his
community.
safety.
So one thing we talked about was not necessarily needing a plan because your dilemma isn't coming out to the world right now, but it's coming out to your wife, like your partner. And just as a married man of faith, you said your wife grew up in the church with you and you grew up in the church, and so your wife possesses those fruits of the Spirit that are like patience and kindness. And I think those attributes, like you said, it sounds like are in her. And so she would be loving and kind and patient with you.
I if you don't like, it's just so hard to gauge the range of reactions here, especially because like, yeah, like it's hard to divorce. Like, okay, he says that, but is that like 100% there? When she talks about LGBT people, does she curse them? Um, like that. You definitely want to believe that, and I feel like it's definitely more likely than not that at the very least he would have like time to discuss it with her. But also, like, what if she's like, "Oh no, you're not. We can work through this." Like, there's other things to think about, and things that like you might genuinely just need to brace yourself for mentally. I don't.
One of the things I want to just encourage you on is that you've been in a vulnerable position before where you had to put your whole trust in God and He came through. So I just encourage you to sometimes be okay with taking just the first step forward, and everything else you could figure out along the way.
So
I'm not that
I first
person.
want to be clear that yes, you should come out, but you should definitely wait and give it a little bit more time. Because we're worried about your safety, number one. The other thing too is that you need resources, and you need time to get those resources. Like I said, like these divorce processes and everything, they don't take a week. And then it's all about your community, right? Personally, me and my family is super religious, so I very much understand where you're coming from about investing so much time in your community and the sense of loss that comes with it. But you have to understand that you'll be fine, your relationship with God will be fine, but this is a very tough decision that is more than that.
Jacob, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling like I got a lot of helpful words that have helped me kind of put together an idea of what I want to do going forward.
Okay.
Have you made a decision in your mind right now?
Yeah, I think I have.
Hmm. We need to know. This is so tense. A few weeks later.
Yeah, so upon getting home, I told my wife that I wanted to do counseling. And we've been meeting with a wonderful counselor, and she has just been able to give us a lot of tools to work with. We meet one-on-one, so I get a chance to be very open with her about how I feel. So I think within the next few months, definitely, I'll be ready to fully come out and just prepare myself and my wife for that.
Oh wait, that's best outcome, right? Oh my god. I didn't realize he'd get like one-on-one counseling with the therapist and his wife to do one-on-one counseling. That's like best possible outcome. Oh my god. Like I'm pretty sure like oh my god. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm really happy about that.
It's been lifted a bit. I still have a journey to go through, and it's gonna be hard either way, but I feel a bit of closure in the sense that I know what I want to do now. While I do believe that it's a decision to made faithfully through God, I also think that it should be a decision that's made with the help of a counselor. I think that it's only fair to my wife that when I come out, I do it in a way that's not only safe for me, but safe for her, and to make sure that I have the resources I need in case something does go wrong.
Oh.
You guys are the first people that I've ever opened up to, so it was...
I know that if you hit that wall of just like, I don't feel like no one's gonna support me, no one has my back, know that we have your back, in spirit, from the distance, like you have people who believe in you and who's gonna support you.
Me too.
Who want you to be happy, and you deserve that.
Okay. I wasn't expecting this video to go like that. That was like I was expecting this to be like content demon type shit. This was actually really cute. Like everyone here was really like I think they got him to the right part, like the right point. Like and he got himself there with their help. That's so cute. Like I feel like even if even if there's a situation where things still end up like shit, like he went the like the best way you can possibly ask. Like really, like uh, the yeah. I I think like okay, I read this comment. Nothing wrong with homosexuality. The problem is you're playing with her feelings and time by dragging her along. Like that's like the argument for like cutting it sooner. But like I think like as long as it really is like at most like a few months or less, because like I don't know how it takes like a few months to like get everything into position. Um, like as long as you're genuinely like setting the foundation to do it in a safe and mentally okay way, then like that's fine to wait a little bit. I grew up Mormon and I know several people who have had to deal with this dilemma. The answer is always yes in the end, no matter how hard the choice is to come out. It does seem it like it. The idea of the dilemma is great. Can't wait to see what is coming. Yeah, I this is such a cool this is so much better than the other like it's still pretty like the other thing was good, the seven like the anonymous teenagers thingy that it started with, like that was really good. But this is like because you get the same like hard-hitting questions, but then you get people discussing it. And like because like you get like a real situation. I think it's so cool. Also, oh my god, I have so many videos to react to for tomorrow. Um, Here, let me add this to my watch later. Okay. I love the diversity of the cast here. You selected people of all varying backgrounds to help provide insight to different facets of life. For many people, don't think that LGBTQ sexuality and devout religion don't clash, but in many cases it does. Jubilee selected people who came from a religious background to speak on to that aspect of his life, and LGBT individuals speak for that aspect. Everyone was so respectful and concerned. However, I really do think the longer he waits, the more pain he's going to inflict on his wife, so it's definitely not something he can take his time on. This is true. Like, you can't wait too long. And like, I get why people would be concerned because he ended by saying like a few months. And that is like kind of weird. So this this comment is so weird to me because like what where do you get the assumption that anyone's gonna think that like you think that there's a problem with homosexuality? Like who says homosexuality? I'm sorry, this is silly. Nothing wrong with being gay. I think that's what got me. Okay. He definitely needs to let his wife know about it. If he hides it from her, then it'd just be harming both in the relationship. He's gonna have to repress his sexuality and she's gonna have to live a lie. This person didn't watch the video. Just saying. Maybe they did. Maybe I'm wrong. But like that's literally what the video was about. It is easy to tell them yes when you have the support of family, friends, and a community. It is difficult to tell them no because even if you want them to come out, the fact doesn't change that that decision could cause them to lose their family, friends, community, and job. I used to live in a small rural religious town where just being a rumor about you being gay would isolate you. While they should come out eventually, they should feel safe and secure in the decision to do so. It might only be a step toward that, but it's a step they need to take. Yeah, like I think to be fair, like views on like homosexuality are shifting rapidly every like over the past like decade or two. So again, it depends on how far back this person lived in a small rural religious town. But like there is like an element of that to consider, right? Like there are genuinely more folks who support you than ever before. Um, of course, in some areas of the world or of the United States specifically, even this is less true. People do like self-select their neighbors to a degree. Myself being a queer person, I say 100% that you should tell her. Yeah. Like, they're right, right? Like, there's another person to think about, and it's important to let her live her life and move on and start healing. But also, like, the counseling that they come to, I think, is like basically that. Yeah. So, anyways, that was really cool. I really liked that video. I'm happy I watched this today. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hey folks, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.